See some big shifts as two Republican strongholds flip to the Democrats, but Stacey Abrams still is trailing. Ryan Kruger has been going through the numbers for us today, as he did last night. He is the master of the board, the keeper of the flame when it comes to all 159 counties of the great state of Georgia.
Yeah, and we did see Republicans, no surprise, won most of those 159. Two big changes from 4 years ago, though. Really the only difference between what this map looks like compared to 4 years ago, these two counties, Cobb County and Gwinnett County, both of them now officially in the blue. Let's go ahead and show you exactly what we are talking about when we start looking through those numbers here, and you'll see how this happened. Here is Cobb County from the election results, 54% in that county. That's pretty unheard of compared to what we saw. That's a Republican stronghold. Gwinnett County, meanwhile, look at this, 56%. That is a 14-point swing that the Democrats were able to pick up. Yet Democrats still not able to be victorious. Why is that? Well, because in Brian Kemp's counties, he really overperformed his numbers. Check this out. Glasscock County, 91% of the vote. So the counties where Brian Kemp was going to be very strong, he was very, very strong. And the other county, the most populous counties, all went to Stacey Abrams. But as you look at this map, you'll see Brian Kemp's voters in rural Georgia really turned out. Back over to you all.